If you see a faded crazy at the side of the train, it says 15 miles to the podcast! Welcome to the Crazy Train. I'm your host, Rob Wade. With me from left to right is Omer Ibrahim.
How many train conductors does it take to change a light bulb? One.
Brad Harmer.
Here I am, rocking like a crazy train!
Nice. Blake Harmer.
Teenage Mutant Crazy Train, Teenage Mutant Crazy Train, Teenage Mutant Crazy Train, heroes in a half-track Crazy Train!
Half-track doesn't go on rails.
Oh yeah, because that's the only problem wrong with the fucking
Neither do we, man. Crazy.
Yeah, man, yeah.
I was riding half-tracks before it was cool.
I've got a quarter track.
Alright, cool. I've got a whole rail network.
When you open now...
I'm sorry, I thought we were talking in train
sizes.
I thought we were talking in euphemisms.
When you first started this podcast, I was really worried because I thought you were going to say 15 miles to the pie shop, and we really do not talk about that.
You just brought it up!
You worked all the way up at the factory, Blake.
Yeah.
The only one that not talk about the pie shop because it just doesn't get across how elevated your position became.
Yeah.
You were like Pie Master.
Yeah.
Captain Kick.
Isn't that a song by Nightwish?
Probably.
No, I was an Iron Maiden song. I was Lord of the Pies.
Alright. Okay, so just before we start, just wanted to talk about the last episode a little bit. I feel like, listening back to it, we may have come off a little bit...
Dickish.
elitist, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
And doing the Nazi salute, it really works well over radio, it doesn't really help me here.
Yeah.
It's a Roman salute, okay, fair enough.
Raymond salute.
Yes, Raymond's salute.
He doesn't have,
Everybody loves
have
Raymond
arms.
salute.
Everybody loves Nazis.
No, if you lift your arm up, you get a load of like freeze-dried noodles.
Deborah! Who are they on the lawn? Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of talk about the kind of official position, because I realised that when I was trying to give it, I got cut off by various bits and pieces and stuff like
I interrupted somebody, fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not uncommon, but... so what I was trying to get across was that E14 is pro-geek,
Yep.
obviously, by the nature of what we publish. Most of it. You know, there's the occasional shit
Apart from
about...
that bit where we stab geeks.
Apart from that thing about Beyonce I put up once, but that seemed to be popular because people, you know, stupid. And what I kind of want to get across is, if you're getting into stuff now, that's fine. Stick around, more power to you. If you go off and decide that actually you're all about the fashion, that's fine. Also, we'll get by without you.
I'll probably see you at my sister's house.
Yeah, probably with a Gucci handbag or
I
something.
think that text I sent to you the day afterwards was, I don't know, the epiphany about fashion geeks is we only want to be geeks because we made it look so awesome.
There you go. That's a nice way of looking at it.
I mean, not you specifically. You just make it
No,
look
he was
awful.
part of a group. It was a part of a group.
No, I mean, he's not helping.
He is. Look, get him there.
I can go if you want.
No, you're good. So, anyway.
I've got a place in Bhutan.
In jokes. They work really well on a podcast. I suppose we made 15 episodes out of them before.
Crazy.
So, I've got, at the end of the episode, if you hang around, there's a message from Mark, who was on the show on the last 2 episodes. He wanted to say thanks and just kind of give us an update on how he's getting on in Australia.
Did you stick around afterwards?
Yeah, if you stick around afterwards, as in don't press stop.
As a trailer for the movie where we all have separate roles.
Oh, my
Crazy
goodness.
Train Assemble, we're going to call it.
That works, yeah.
Isn't it disassembled already?
Yeah, well, you know. So I went to a gig last night with fellow E14 cast members, Sauercrouch and Spike Direction.
Cool.
They both played in the band together.
Is that their real name?
Yeah,
I think it's like code names, like I'd used to sign on. I'll probably put a legal disclaimer there that says no, I've got nothing but problems with the HMRC. They're the ones who seem not to like me. And I think I simultaneously met the son of the Trash Wizard and his brother. So I'll deal with.
Do you mean the
two sons?
uncle of the Trash Wizard?
Sorry, I don't mean to suggest they're one person.
Alright.
They're 2 separate people. One was his son and one was his brother, I suspect.
So his son and his uncle, and the son's
his
uncle.
brother
Yeah,
and
there
his
you go.
nephew.
Yeah. So,
Well, they're from Sheppey, because then
his
it could.
brother and his nephew.
If it was from Sheppey, there'd be 3 people.
yes.
Trash Wizard's brother and the Trash Wizard's nephew.
No.
The Trash Wizard's brother's nephew. Because the Trash Wizard's brother's nephew would be the Trash Wizard's son.
Crazy.
Fuck.
Fuck's sake, Blake. What?
Don't do that again. Look at that face. So I watched before the gig started. Was when I was kind of indirectly introduced to the brother of the Trash Wizard, and it was a guy who looked uncannily like him and had very similar mannerisms in the sense of shambling around, looking
Shouting
a bit,
ambulances.
shambling around, talking kind of quite loudly, looking a bit pissed.
I really thought you were going to say talking through whiteboards.
That would have made conversation difficult.
Your band is good.
Yeah, it was really easy with him otherwise.
Yeah. I wish I'd recorded it. I did genuinely do.
Let me just dissertate how much I like your band. You'll have to write it for me because I didn't write this.
I do not own the gig. It's a nation.
It sounds like a guy when I went to a friend's gig once who the band was selling. My friend's band was selling T-shirts, and we all signed the T-shirt. But he didn't realise none of us were in the band. It sounds like that type of guy.
Do you know it's funny you say that? I was coming. I think I was coming back from a band practice once. We were just in Eastbourne because that's where our practice room was, and we were walking from the venue back to our cars, and then we were going to go to the pub. And this bloke. I'm not, I think he might not quite have been all there because he walked up to us and he said, "Oh, you're in a band?" I was like, "Yeah, we just had a practice." And he's like, "Can I get your autographs?" I was like, "Why?" He said, "When's your next gig?" I was like, "When's our first gig?" Is more. we're still working on it.
We can play one now if you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's just funny you say that just because we ended up signing our things for this really nice guy.
Yeah.
Who was just.
What's your band's name? The Rolling Stones.
No, this guy was just so off his face and so elated with how good the band that had been on were that he bought their T-shirt, and then he was outside. Of course, because we were hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I don't actually think that any of the members of the band signed the T-shirt, but somewhere a guy's got a T-shirt signed by a band, signed by people who aren't in the band on the T-shirt, and then a picture posing with thumbs up and peace signs with us as well.
You joke, but at the same time,
photo of Sean Connery signed by Roger Moore.
Well, you saw a picture of Star Wars Saga.
Yes, it was a photo from the carbon freezing chamber in the Empire, signed by Ewoks and shit.
Oh.
Fair play.
Well, just paw prints.
Yeah, I guess.
WICKET.
Oh, please let that be how he talks. He eventually learns English 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
And all he can say is his name.
WICKET. Did any of the shrapnel hit the house? WICKET.
Dun, 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 dun.
Have you not
Crack
seen
that
Ewoks?
whip.
Who talks in that?
Yeah.
He does talk in
Yeah, but he doesn't go WICKET, which is much more like it.
Oh yeah, I agree. Maybe one day it will be moved to be more like George Lucas' original vision, where everyone talks like a mong.
I am your brother!
Look, there's young Han Solo.
No disintegration!
So, the Troll Wizard, as I came to
Where are my shoes?
Now, whenever I watch Jedi and Arthur Koenig crashes the A-wing from the Executor, I'm just imagining him going,
I'm driving in the drive-thru.
Put the shields up. What's part of the shield?
So, the guy who I've come to term as the Troll Wizard.
meant to the biggest thing in galaxy.
Fuck.
Fuck's sake, Blake.
There's so many Omers already.
It's not even me.
It's 9 minutes in. Fucking hell. So,
It's ever wonker.
fuck's sake, somebody's a fucking wanker. So, the guy at the bar, who I've come to term as the Troll Wizard, because of what he proceeded to do next.
He was under a bridge.
No, it was what he proceeded to do next.
Brought rich.
He was just fucking with us. So what he did, he was at the jukebox when I went to get a drink. And I caught him out the corner of my eye. The first thing that struck me was his likeness to the Trash Wizard.
When he came back and he put Crazy Train on.
No.
Did you do a double take because you thought it was him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to that level of uncanny kind of resemblance. He also had a bag for life with apparently nothing in it.
Nice.
So it's sort of,
That's a metaphor.
I know. Sort of indicative, isn't it? And so he was at the jukebox, requested a few songs, wandered off. And as far as I know, he left the bar. So he just left these songs to play out. What he'd chosen
That's the opening scene of Akira.
So what he'd chosen to play was Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety, out of sequence. And there is nothing more annoying than listening to Dark Side of the Moon out of order. Because I just the first thing I said when I heard it was, who puts Eclipse on without brain damage? And then 5 songs later, oh no, wait, there it is. Fucking hell. So yeah, Troll Wizard, his name is.
Maybe it's the right order.
Yeah, maybe. But I also on the same evening encountered the son of the Trash Wizard.
The son of the cousin of the trash of the auntie.
That sounds like a film my dad would own.
What? The son of the cousin of the uncle of the auntie.
Own or executive produce? Because we've got our theories.
And Roger Corman Harmer.
I've got an idea for a movie. Maybe I should make it.
And it was the first act on before the other one, and he basically typified everything that, in my mind, is wrong with local artist scenes. Right? He was this solo guitar player, came out, started playing a song, no introduction, no nothing, just starts playing a song. 10 seconds in, he goes, "Oh, sorry, I forgot how that one goes."
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, seriously, right? And everybody's
What's his name?
I don't know. He didn't give it.
That's the trouble with most, like...
There you go.
When I was in Bender Crack Corn, I always used to push, "Hi, we're Bender Crack Corn, we're Bender Crack Corn, this is Bender Crack Corn, Bass on my bass. No, I've seen countless bands, and I don't know who they are, because they don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
It's a horrendous assumption.
Yeah, I introduce every episode with "Hi, it's the Crazy Train," and people know if they're subscribed that's the show they're listening to.
Well, basically, now you used to do the same. I still introduce the band. I also still do individual member introductions.
There's a lot of my work that Bender Crack Corn still.
But I've seen big bands where I've paid like 20-25 quid a ticket, and their support acts don't. I understand when the main band don't introduce themselves because their fucking name is written everywhere.
Yeah, they've got 5 albums every
40
thing
foot.
else.
I saw Nick Cave a couple of weeks ago. He doesn't have to come out and say, "Hi, I'm Nick Cave,
No,
the bad
sure.
seeds."
Yeah.
But it would have been nice if I'd known who his support band was.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
I still don't know.
Do you know who? Twisted Sister still do it.
Good.
Twisted Sister
Were
come out.
they good? The support band.
Metallica do it, actually.
The support band, were they good?
Yeah, it was a solo artist, I don't know what her name was.
Yeah, this is it. Like you might want to track down their music, and
Exactly.
You don't know how to find it.
yeah. So this guy comes out and he does this. Sorry, I wrote that song a few days ago, and it's like, what? So you didn't practice it?
Do you know what?
Really?
You guys saw this. You guys were here. We actually saw that at a wrestling show.
Oh.
And I'm not giving it. Oh fuck! It was embarrassing and painful to me. Where it was a guy and a girl, and I won't name any names because I don't
need
remember.
a hug.
One of them put one. The other.
Next episode.
Even not as a wrestler, it was the single most embarrassing performance I've
It was.
ever
They were
seen.
in a full Nelson.
Are you talking about a gig you attended mutually?
I was MC.
Yeah, okay.
I think were you there as well, Mike?
No.
Were you
Sorry,
there
when you put your head in your hands, I assumed it was because you made a wrestling reference.
I think you were there.
That one.
No,
Yeah,
I'm pretty much
yeah.
immune to that now.
You don't
The old
look like
post office show was atrocious.
Yeah, well, it was a guy and a girl wrestling. Girl puts the guy in a full Nelson, so he's behind her with his arms in the air, and he just stops and goes, "Oh, I can't remember what to do now."
You're a wrestling match.
Were we not? I can understand on stage if you forget. I'm sorry, we haven't played this. We played a gig a little while ago, and we played a song we haven't played in over a year. And if we'd have stopped halfway through it and Ronnie had gone, "I can't remember any more of the chords," you'd have gone, "Oh, fair enough, they haven't played it." But in something that is supposed to be real, there's a fight. I mean, apart from anything, I don't get how you can forget. You just move a little bit.
I swear I could hear this coming from Frank Gotch's grave.
I'm sorry, I can't.
like a
remember what to do now.
rotisserie chicken.
It goes even beyond like not telling the crowd it's fake, which they all know now, 90%. But you don't tell them that.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
I still like that there's 10% that still think it's real.
Yeah.
But what this also means is some fucknut taught this utter fucknut and didn't teach him
I love that
anything. Fucknut.
I wish more people used it.
Didn't say to him, this is supposed to look real. That
Or-
means somebody went in thinking it was ballet.
You don't loudly proclaim, "I've forgotten what to do now."
Apart from anything, what I've always been taught in wrestling is if you do forget where you're going next, if you have a plan and you forget where you are, you just drop. You just do something. You grab hold of a limb. You drop to the floor. You sell your eye.
Improvise.
Yeah.
We did it once. I did it once I was in a match with Jimmy Havoc. We were hitting each other with baking trays. And
Hang on, everyone. Omer's got an anecdote.
he dropped his.
Who are you shouting at?
He's already halfway through one.
I thought you were shouting outside.
It's Kid of a Street.
He
Pisses me off. Every episode. I can always hear a little coming from a street outside. Drives me fucking mental.
Which is a good trick because he's the double glazed.
I know. I know how loud he is.
He keeps telling wrestling stories about the time he wrestled Jimmy Smith.
Just go, bah.
Old news, mate. Just
Yeah, Jimmy drops his baking tray,
Right.
and he's supposed to beat me at this baking tray fight.
Yeah.
He drops his one. I can't just hand him mine to beat me with. So he just gives me a forearm blow, and I just act like it was the hardest shot in the world and drop to the mat, like he knocked me out.
Yeah.
Because it just, alright, it looked crap, but it covered the fact that he fucked up.
Yeah.
If I couldn't remember what to do, I'm just going to get out and just go and kill, get to my script.
Of course, if he's been having a performance bonus withheld on that one match, you've just blown it for him.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'll explain why he hates you.
Well, there is that.
Well, we all have our reasons.
So like I say, he fucks up his first song, and then he kind of just mumbles through it, and he's not good anyway. And he's he's not he's not to my. It's beyond just not to my taste. He is crap.
You can't. If it was good, but you didn't like him, you could appreciate.
You can't tell what he's singing. He's playing an electric guitar on a solo show, and it's too loud for him to talk over.
Right.
And that
who's doing the sound?
Just take a guess. He's also borrowed a guitar from somebody, which is a piece of crap, and cacked out on him midway through at the beginning of a song, right? And that happens. That sucks, but it happens. What you don't then do is go, "Oh, it's cracked out on me," and he gets it working again. Plays halfway through the song, the guitar gives up, and he just walks off the stage. And I think about 5 minutes later, I heard him when I went to the toilet. I think I heard him in the alleyway outside throwing his guts up because the other thing he mentioned on the mic. Sorry, I'm a bit pissed.
No, again. I've had a couple of beers, this will be a fun set, it's funny.
You know what? He's still got this loud round of applause from this just cavalcade of mediocrity surrounding him. And that's the problem I've got with it, right? He had a shit show, he should have never worked again, but he will get another gig, probably with the same promoters, despite himself.
Yes.
And that's the problem to me. That's how I interpret it. I mean, like, you know, we've talked about this before, right?
This local music scene is a perfect example of it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, and it's also it's very much one of those things to me where they want to make the area as big as somewhere like London, but they want the success to come to them rather than have to put the work in.
Totally, yeah.
Right, and I remember this story. When I first moved back to Medway, I was walking through Rochester High Street one evening, and this bloke was handing out flyers, and he was like, "Oh, you know, are you busy tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry, mate, I'm on my way. I'm going to go out somewhere." He's like, "Oh, that's fair enough. I'm just handing out leaflets. I'll give you one anyway because we're going to try and do a regular show. We're trying to get a bit of a scene going." And I almost instinctively went back with better promoters than you have tried and failed, but I didn't. And then he said, "You know, tonight we've got Dodgy playing." I was like, "Good luck with that." And just walked. Remember Dodgy? Yeah. I was about to ask if you remember them. Evidently you do. You can make a pun on their name.
Yeah.
It just no, it's just like we've. The last time we played a gig, I'm not going to say the venue we were last at, but we played. Every band on there was pretty good. We had a cracking show. Every band was great. We enjoyed everyone. The time before we played that venue, the band who were on after us had made a big furore about getting there, and it was their big show, and they were putting it out, and they were just turds. But people were going mental for them, and they must have played for nearly 60 minutes. And again, the drummer was pissed off his face and was missing most of the beats. Like, I could have drummed better than him.
Oh, he was atrocious.
Exactly, right? And
Blake does
but
get-
like, why? But like, that's the thing is,
The White Stripes is a better drummer than
What, both people?
yeah.
actually, Jack White is actually a really good drummer.
Jack.
No, funnily enough, Jack White is a really good drummer.
Too many people in general are, and we can talk about like because of the internet, but it's not just because of that. It's just people's attitudes. Mediocrity is good now. People don't strive for anything more, and being content is fine. If you are a jam band, right, and you just play a few covers of your mates, of your favourite songs, and you just play them in the garage, fine, and you get a gig every now and again, so you can
People
practice in
like
front of your
that
mates.
should be playing Guitar Hero and not wasting venues' time.
Yeah, totally.
No, it would
And the thing is, like, Sour Crouch and his band were enjoyable. Like, I
think they're one of the few original acts around at the moment.
they're a bit of fun, and they're very.
And it says a lot that they're original, but influenced by stuff from the 20s and 30s.
I likened it to Screaming Jay Hawkins colliding with Van Halen.
There's a lot of like, Howlin' Wolf and stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like that sort of style mixed with the overtly sexual lyrics of somebody like Van Halen or Electric Six.
Yeah.
And I think that's going on the quote as an E14. Going on their poster.
People just don't want to stand out now. I've always said, like,
When
before.
I say I hate the mainstream, that's an excuse.
No. I mean, within what you're doing. Like, if you want to be, what's the most mainstream form of music at the minute? Would you say?
Dubstep.
Dubstep.
There was a point I was going to put on this episode. Is anyone still listening to it anymore?
I've no idea.
I've not heard any mention of it. I've not heard any dubstep saying stuff in the charts. Because it used to be.
What I'm thinking.
I remember seeing someone posting your girlfriend's Facebook status. Oh, you should like dubstep because it's the future of music.
No, it just sounds
And
like
I remember
robots
saying at the
fighting.
time, is it, or in 6 months' time will rock and roll be coming back again?
And in a real hipster moment, I remember after the charts on Radio 1 on a
Yeah, I think
Sunday,
you told this story,
there was a
yeah.
dubstep show.
Yeah.
Like,
Hang on,
so,
everyone, Omer's repeating the previous anecdote.
so like, if it's the future, it's also the past.
Yeah.
It was very different to what you hear now.
Well,
but
that's
it was
because like music decades seem to be cyclical. So you get like every 3 years at the moment, you get a resurgence of a whole decade.
Yeah.
So you had like they had
So
a, they had a
next year,
50s
the
thing,
big thing is 2017.
which
it's
is weird.
caught up.
Yeah, which is bizarre. I don't know how they're going to cope. Is
what-
music just going to implode instantly into some sort of singularity?
Oh,
No, that's prog.
I'm hoping in a few years that everyone just covers 2112 and that's it.
But like, no, what at the minute? I mean, I don't know the charts. I'm not trying to sound big for that. What is?
By a few years,
Well, the way they're going.
What is kind of consistently in the top 20 at the minute, would you say?
I'll try and think
Because I remember, like, for instance, when it was like Blur and bands like that.
Cyrus is quite big, I think. with
she
some
has
young folks.
she does well.
Cheesy. So let's just take a style of music, like just let's say like
I mean, pop music.
pop music in its term of
The thing is, pop music is a massive
Yes,
genre that can include lots of
because it
different
used to be like S Club 7 and hi, we're a cheesy band.
Yeah.
That was pop. But if we take something like Miley Cyrus now, so let's say that every band in the top 20 sounds like Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Why not?
fair?
Yeah, right.
Possibly. Yeah.
Why not? If you like that style of music and you want to create it, why not be the best one? Too many people are content with doing a style of music but just being all right at it.
Yeah.
Just being as good as the other bands out there. Be better than them.
At the same time, the alternative scene is just as guilty, and I'll tell you
Oh,
why.
yeah.
Right? There's a really big culture of let's make a song that's very obviously designed to get us a video on MTV too.
Yes.
Fountains of Wayne, Stacey's mom,
Yep.
is a song exactly like that, where it was all about, oh, well, let's see how outrageous a video we can get so we get played all the time on music TV. And that's not... It's like you've talked about. You know, there's... I got invited today to like a page on Facebook which is AC/DC for Christmas #1. Nothing says alternative like caring about the charts.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like that. It was Killing of a Name Off.
Yeah.
That's
the
one,
Rage one.
wasn't it? I didn't agree with that because I think that to me is lazy rebellion. Getting a song which said "fuck you, I do you to tell me" to #1 is not imaginative enough.
No.
I wanted to get Benny Hill's "Earning" the fastest milkman in the West.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, stuff like that is good.
That would be
more
you know,
fun.
be creative in your anarchy.
Yeah, but that's not... I know you're being sarcastic. It's not anarchy.
No.
What
No, it
people,
is.
but no, what it is no, making a #1 song isn't anarchy in any way, but the people believe it was. What anarchy is burning cars and uprooting the government.
Yeah, but at the same time, me and Brad have also talked about this. If people proclaiming anarchy actually got anarchy, they wouldn't like a lot of it.
Oh, God,
'Cause,
yeah.
you know, there are genuinely people who would go, oh, well, there are no laws, I'm going to go rape my way through a primary school. And there would be nothing stopping them.
There was a guy I spoke to, he was listening in a band, and they do a lot of politically charged stuff. I was actually talking to him about his views about it.
Okay.
And he said, anarchy is not as good as revolution. Revolution isn't as good as a genuine change of thought.
Okay.
Basically, he was explaining it through, he has a phrase called a revolution in my head. And what he says is if every single person just thinks a little bit differently, cares a bit more, looks things up a little bit more, the world will change and there won't be any... You won't have to do anything. Just question a little bit more. Just revolutionise the way you think. And if everybody did that, you wouldn't need burning of cars and uprooting of governments because the government would change in themselves. Because they would all just think about other people a bit
This
more.
great quote is: "If everybody's thinking the same, then somebody's not thinking."
Yeah.
Yeah,
a good way
oh,
of-
That
yeah.
was said by noted military lunatic General George S. Patton.
Well,
And
there you
when
go.
General Patton's making more sense from the rest of the world.
But it's just, but it's the same as like we talked about in music, but in general, people are just okay with banality. Like if you go into a fashion store, it's not my type. You know, I wear like band t-shirts and jeans.
Cough on it.
What he didn't see is at the same time as using my cough to cover up his can opening, he was also cupping my balls.
You've not got a hernia.
You can tell from there. Wow.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
If you go into Burton's,
Okay.
right, and I've had people like get annoyed at like but no, don't go now.
Oh, they'll be
I've
shut.
had people get annoyed at like the Rolling Stones t-shirts and the Metallica t-shirts but that's not what I'm on about. If you look at just the general clothing, right, everything's brown and grey and I don't wear bright colours. What I'm saying is there's nothing.
You would look ridiculous.
Oh, I've got a bright orange t-shirt. It's hilarious. I look like a fucking great
You would
Satsuma.
look like John Wayne Gacy on an off day.
But everything has got like a faded, worn out, tired look to it. Nothing's nice.
Yeah.
Nothing looks... But then look at, like, in terms of technology, everything's clean and crisp and lovely. Look at the Apple Store.
Yes.
It's fucking whiter than the Antarctic in there, and so bright it's blinding.
Which is also true of
the
the
people
quiet
in there
place.
are wearing jeans with like cheese grater holes in them.
Yeah.
Not the old grunge way of doing it, but it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I personally don't think you've been to the Antarctic.
Oh my god, tell that fucking story. So we went to the... you want to tell a story or shall I tell the story?
You can start.
Alright, so we went to
Blake
the...
won't say too much.
Blake will just chip in with some incredibly funny jokes.
I'll let him deliver the punch.
We'll just take a light off his cigarette.
So when we went to the Merton Ale Festival for Paul's Stag Do, you know, the one you puffed out on?
Yeah, the one where I fainted in a load of birds. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Then you were a lizard.
Your old jippos came up with a load of soil from your native country.
So we went to the Ale Festival and Blake was wearing a t-shirt with the Antarctic Research Station.
Yeah, Antarctic Research Station from the Thing.
Yeah, so he's wearing a thing.
John Carpenter.
Not just from the thing, it's not being generic. From that thing I've seen. Oh god, don't start that again.
So we're walking through. I think we were on our way out actually, weren't we?
No. It was actually
We were going to get food.
Yeah, we were walking out to get some food. I think we'd had a particularly strong ale, and we thought, oh crap, better
I
eat
remember
some
that
food
one, yeah.
because this ale was like 9%. It was mindful.
Really ruined my stomach.
Yeah, and we thought we should eat something before we collapse.
Bring me a hoagie.
But this guy, he was completely pissed out of his head, just stopped me all of a sudden and just went, "Did you get that t-shirt in Antarctica?"
Yeah. No, you know, that's their gross national product. T-shirts.
The most thing they know, they hardly sell any, like, you know, the Arctic gear. They just sell t-shirts.
And you know what they sell t-shirts of? Pimping their research station.
Not even like I went all the way to the Antarctic and all I got was this fucking penguin.
It's moments like this. I wish we could do a Family Guy style cutaway and just cut to a t-shirt shack in the middle of the Antarctic, manned by John Carpenter.
He's just standing there, frozen after death.
It's all that, and he's just on his own going, bomb, bomb.
Blake just turns up and he's like, "You got any t-shirts?" "No, sorry, you bought the last one."
I've just sent the last one off somewhere.
And a Russian baby grows there.
He seemed awfully disappointed when
Lots
I
of
said no,
limb
it was a movie. And because he said, "Oh yeah, because my friend's got t-shirts of Antarctica on him because he's been there." What's the matter?
I could get one fucking printed now. I just go on Google.
Yeah, it's just easily bamboozled.
Yeah, probably.
I think, and I'm putting it out there, he might have been a pisshead.
He might not have been drunk, he might just have been thick.
You'd be amazed how often you can mistake one for the other.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign this t-shirt? Did he ask you to sign it if you were in the band that was in the
I'll have your song. Bom, bom.
The bass line's amazing, but it doesn't really go anywhere.
1 minute. John Carpenter.
Bomb, bomb. So, we got this junk mail to the E14 inbox, and normally I'd just delete it, but this one was so fucking bizarre. I thought I had to share.
Well, I think we know who that's from.
I got two of them in the same vein. So the subject is, A Seagull 841 invites you to share her private movie. And the body of the email reads thusly: "It was a pale pink G-string set.
Ooh.
For your security, please type it in your browser." I'm not going to read the URL because it's obviously filled with Trojans and spam.
Yeah.
So just...
Racists.
What?
Well, people from Troja could be offended by that.
Maybe they should learn to not put temps on the front desks.
Maybe they should learn about hollow wood.
So really, that was one of those.
Oh, you found Dark Age Combat one of his buttons.
Oh, it's pretty dark.
That is, isn't it?
Oh god!
You move.
It's all Greek to me.
Oh,
fucking hell.
I got this.
How did you find my nest?
So the body of the email read: "It was a pale pink G-string set. For your security, please type it in your browser. I'm not a witch."
I'm not.
Are you a wizard?
I don't know. And then I got then I got one a couple of days later that said the same similar sort of thing again. Subject: Lastry 129 wants to be your buddy. I suspect I know why.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Body of the email reads: "I will be the referee."
Oh.
Oh, it's okay, man. It's okay.
It's alright, wrestling as referee.
For your
Jimmy Snooker once.
Did you? Oh, you should
There
tell
was
us
a
about
referee
that.
present.
You should tell us about that sometime, but not right now. So it just says, I will be the referee. For your security, please type it in your browser. Da, 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 da. They made love all day and into the night.
What?
It's just the gears that they
They're
jump.
wonderful haikus sometimes.
I know.
I'll have to find. I used to get them emailed to me every now and again, and I saved one on my Facebook because it was just words and then all of the sentence, all here, then all the banana tree. It was literally like that, and it's like it obviously started out as somebody probably who doesn't speak English as a first language writing it, and it just gets more and more and more corrupted as it gets emailed on and on until it just becomes the like Chinese whispers from 32,000 years ago. Like it just got passed on so much. It's amazing.
I love the ones where they want to deposit money into your account because it's never a small amount of money, which you might actually genuinely might scam for.
Yeah,
you.
PayPal do
it's
like
always for $10 billion.
PayPal always do like to verify your account. It's like it will be less than 10p. You tell us how much.
Yeah.
And you'd always see like 7p, and then you message back 7p, and they go, okay, it was you.
Yeah.
If you've had a safety thing flagged up, I've had it
Yeah,
a couple
I know
of times. But like that's believable because even if you're conning them, you only lose 7p.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, $70 bazillion.
The gross national product of Venezuela, or 1 billion copies of GTA 5.
£8.
So, one of you guys had a rant, and it was Brad.
I had
About-
many. You're going to have to.
Oh, sorry, I'll be more specific, sorry. So, it was about adverts.
Oh, the Christmas adverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone seen or been aware of the John Lewis Christmas advert everyone's talking about online?
Some people say about it, but I've not
Yeah,
seen
the only awareness I had of it was the retweet you did of the John Lewis Twitter timeline.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking amazing, right? It's a guy called @JohnLewis, and it's not the shop. So he's just been, they say, such a triumph of advertising, and it's just like, I am, but I think you're thinking of this, and just links them to the correct Twitter, and it's just 94 tweets of this. It's amazing.
Of a fossilised saint.
Seriously.
I saw just real quick aside, there's a guy doing the real Hagrid.
Yeah.
And he just kept messaging Harry Styles from One Direction, going, "You're a wizard, Harry." And then after he finally was like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Sorry, wrong Harry." And I don't think he's ever tweeted anything else. He just some guy had an idea for a joke, it hit, and he just stopped. Brilliant.
To be fair, if that was all Twitter was the occasional just throwaway accounts like that, I'd have no
Yeah.
right to it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That Fluffy McRorington.
Exactly.
Still sad that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I still haven't tried fuck's sake Blake, but I'm guessing because it's got the word fuck in it. I probably
Would
won't
you
be
not?
allowed
You'd
it.
probably be alright. That's worse.
Would you not? Would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you not?
So, sorry, adverts.
Blake. Because nobody on Twitter's called Blake.
Yeah, how
Not the
about
only Blake I know, so maybe.
Yeah.
It's a small place, isn't it?
I met one once.
Was it William?
No, it was a...
Was it when Mum and Dad got you a mirror just to keep you occupied?
He looked in the mirror, there was just a budgie on the other side.
You bastard, let me see that mirror.
It's because I wouldn't see or hear, that's the problem.
Tenuous.
That was pretty dangerous.
So, I haven't seen it, no.
No, okay, it's a ridiculously schmaltzy, horrible, vomit-inducing, Disney-fied pile of crap.
If it's anything like the last year's advert, I can understand
It's
that.
there's a bear who it starts off with something like it's a land where no one ever sees Christmas, and it starts off with a montage
Middle
of
East.
this bear who is friends with this rabbit, which just reminds me of one of my favourite jokes ever.
Go on.
Bear.
Do you know that one?
He's bear.
No.
No, one of my favourite jokes ever is there's a place there's a clearing in the middle of the woods, and a bear comes in, starts taking a dump. The rabbit hops up next to him, goes, "Alright," and he goes, "Alright," and the rabbit starts taking a dump as well. The bear goes, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's alright." And the bear goes, "Can I ask you a personal question?" He looks around, there's no one else there. The rabbit goes, "Yeah, sure." The bear says, "Do you ever find the poo sticks to your fur?" Rabbit goes, "No." Bear goes, "Brilliant," and wipes his arse with rabbit.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a
Crazy.
montage of a bear and a rabbit being best friends.
Yeah.
And then winter comes and the bear goes to hibernate.
Right.
And while he's asleep, you see the rabbit carry a little Christmas present up to the bear's cave.
Oh,
then goes off and has a party with the fox and
I think I'm diabetic.
Chickadee the chickadee and stuff like
Hearing
that.
the description, from hearing the description, I think I'm diabetic.
Yeah, and then this Christmas star comes up and lights up a giant Christmas tree with all the electricity which was in the forest, all cute little animals.
Yeah.
And then the rabbit looks over, because he's with his own, his friend's not there, because his friend's hibernating, and he looks over and the bear's just come over the crest of the hill, and everyone have a Christmas party together, and it cuts to the bear's cave, and his present was an alarm clock.
That's a stupid.
Right, I've got several problems with that advert.
Right.
Bears don't have fun.
There's some indie song performed by Lily Allen as a backing music, which
Of course
is
there is,
okay.
She's still doing music.
I think she, for a wobbler of a while, decided not to and has now come back because Tina.
Oh no, she
Because
has.
needs money.
No, she had a really nasty thing happen to her. I'm not joking. Don't make this offensive. She lost a child.
Did she really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why she took a break.
Oh, you're right, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So maybe that probably
Not
factors
joking
in,
at all. There. Yeah,
No.
First strike.
3 wheels of sad.
What was bugging me about this? There's several things wrong with it, but what drove me most insane about it was my girlfriend said to me, "Have you seen it yet?" And she said no, and so we pulled it up on the YouTube, and she stuck it up, and I watched it, and I couldn't help but feel, if I was on YouTube looking for something and an advert came up, I would skip it.
Yeah.
And here I am on YouTube, intentionally watching a fucking advert.
See, when I did. See if anybody can help me here, right? I'm the same. There used to be I
figured out no.
It was an old Castlemaine, the beer advert.
Yeah,
Castlemaine Triple X.
4X.
I was watching Castlevania for a minute.
And it was,
It's a 2D side-scrolling advert.
it was those really cartoony, like Outback, like "Good day, mate. Do you want a beer?" and all that. It was a load of Aussies like that way.
Yep.
And
What made
there
you
was one of them
what made you
where
think they're Aussies.
they were all like, I think I was very young, right? They were all like buzzing.
Such a load of Aussies going crazy.
They were
12
all,
hours ahead of us.
they were all like busting for the toilet, and none of them would go. So a guy walks in, he's like, "Why not?" Goes to the toilet, and there's a giant spider, like the size of a cat, sitting on the toilet, and it just kind of flashes its eyebrows. And I always remember as a kid, apparently I was very young, and it just tickled me, and I just laughed my face off every time.
That is an interactive advert.
Yeah, particularly. And it's one of them things now. Like I've looked on YouTube for hours to try to kind of find this advert, just purely out of I've seen it once, it must exist. And there's thousands of these adverts, Castlemaine adverts on YouTube, and loads from that era, and not that one. So if our 4 listeners want to send it in for me,
Bit of fun trivia for you. When I was a kid,
yesterday, exactly the same thing. I had a song stuck in my head, and I was trying to figure out what it was and what it was and what it was. And after about 15 minutes advertising, I managed to track it down. It was a song which was performed once on Blue Peter,
right?
Wow.
by Donna Eyre and some other girl from Grange Hill. And I found the exact Blue Peter clip on YouTube
What?
as well.
you have got the most hipster earwig I've ever heard.
But I was going, I know that's what the fuck is this song? And it's awful. And I had to find out what it was so I could salt the earth around it.
That is the most wonderfully obscure earwig I've ever heard. That's brilliant.
A bit of fun trivia for on the subject of adverts. When I was a kid, I was so traumatised by the Sugar Puffs advert where the kid becomes a honey monster, I had to leave the room.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, it was pretty horrible.
No, just like while the advert was on. I could come back.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's never seen a television since.
But on a different subject, I actually used to go out with a girl who was afraid of the theme tune to Thomas the Tank Engine when she was a
Really?
kid. Yeah.
I'm afraid of the new one because it's shit.
Okay, well I haven't seen the new one.
It's got words and
29.
everything. The old one's just like... The new Thomas Tank Engine theme tune has words.
That's
It's called like Thomas and Friends or
Political
something.
correctness gone mad.
And I bet the controller is trying the gym.
Oh, he's Sir Topham Hatt now, isn't he?
Of course, yes. Because they can't even say
Yeah, so
it.
actually they did.
Name, though, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah,
they always kind of...
canonical name. I mean, Thomas Tenkin.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
But they're not. They don't ever refer to him as the Fat Controller.
Well, they should.
Just to make him lose weight.
I'm
We
just saying.
decided we're not going to call him a fat controller because that's offensive to fat people. So from now on, we're calling him Fat Smart Cunt.
He never does anything but smirk.
Although,
It's weird.
Sir Topham Hat is a really good pun, if you think about it.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
a
good.
really well written pun.
Yeah.
He likes telling him off when they get deep.
That really bothers me, actually. I like it because, he was fat controller. I never saw that as taking a piss out of fat people. I saw it as a middle finger to authority figures. So now our generation is told your boss isn't a fat controller, he's Sir Topham to you.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Okay, I can see how you'd get that, yeah. I've just, I don't think I've even watched any of the reboots of anything. The only thing I watched one of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was quite fun.
Okay, is it good? Because I've heard really good things. I've heard it's very much in the spirit
I
of
just
the old
watched
one.
one little sketch where it was just like he was Casey Jones was sort of doing infiltration into somewhere, and he had the turtles in his earpiece directing him and
Wow,
giving him
that's
instructions.
hurt.
Yeah, all 4. Just
Is he aware that when you say you have a turtle's head sticking out, it's not meant to be your ear?
you're doing it wrong, Casey. You're doing it wrong. And he was walking through, and then he got into a row with Raphael over the intercom, and he starts shouting at him down the intercom, and everybody looks at him quizzically, and you just see Raphael go, moron. And that's the only bit I remember of it.
But have you seen the new? They put out 4 toys of the 4 turtles.
Yes.
But they've styled them. They're basically double the size of the old 90s turtle figures.
Jesus.
But they're double size, so they're like Action Man size.
Yeah.
But they are perfect to the old cartoon ones.
Oh wow.
They released them at the same time as all the new toys,
Yeah.
and I saw one, and they're not cheap. They're obviously
Sure.
an adult collector thing, and they're like 18 quid each. But they look exactly like the cartoon from the 90s. They look really nice. So I wouldn't pay that much for them.
Sure.
Like, if they were a £5 and I could get all 4 of them for 20 and put them on the shelf, I probably wouldn't still, but that'd be a more reasonable
You're
price.
terrible with money, aren't you?
I am quite terrible with money.
But he does balk at paying over the odds for what was actually action figures that sound like they don't do very much.
No, well, yeah.
But on the subject of collector
Or
stuff,
skinhead in action figure.
with recovery position action. We were talking about this in the car on the way here, weren't we? About collector's stuff and how it's a kind of false economy, and it is. You know, I was, and the story I was going to tell you guys was I bought recently the new Splinter Cell game, and there was different. You know, there's the standard edition that just comes in a DVD case, and then there's one that comes in a steelbook, and then there's one called the Ultimatum Edition, which comes with a special watch, which is kind of nifty. You know.
That's fun. You're getting something for your money, so... Yeah.
To a point, yeah. I mean, like, obviously it's kind of frivolous and a bit sort of gadgety and, you know, that sort of thing, but it's designed to appeal to its target crowd, which makes sense. And then there was the one I bought, which has like a sort of 10-inch Sam Fisher action figure. But not action figure, sorry, just statue. Yeah. And it looks very cool. Like, but at the same time, I saw the other day a guy at work was looking for Christmas presents, and the cost of the one with the watch had gone from 80 quid down to 21.
Oh fuck!
But that's within like a couple of months.
Yeah,
you know. And that's the thing, is like I didn't pay 80 quid for my one because I traded in a load of stuff and I had loads of vouchers and shit to bring it down. So I probably paid about 20 quid for mine, which is why I did it.
But that's the thing with like collectors. Like my dad used to be an antique dealer,
right?
And you'd find things that there were 5 things left.
How do you find the time to do all these jobs?
Oh, trust me, it's a running joke in my family. It was like I was a chef, I was a cleaner, I was this.
He wasn't. You confidence trickster.
He's had the real hustle.
So like, he'd have items where there'd only be like, oh, there's this cabinet, like a dressing table or anything like that, and there was only 100 in the world and there were only 20 left now. So that's not as a collector's piece for people who are into their antique furniture, but because there is a limited number.
Yeah.
When you make, like, even with like some of the Star Wars, the master replica lightsaber hilts,
and other ones,
and they'll make 50 of them. And if you really like it and you really like that one, yes, it is a collector's item.
And you'll pay 200 quid for it.
And you'll pay for it and you enjoy it and it's on your shelf, that's great. Things like the one I messaged you about was magazines.
Right.
Empire, FHS, especially those ones where you get the 4 different. There's a Hobbit one out at the minute.
Right.
4 different covers, collectible.
Of 4 characters that look the same.
It's
racist.
A collectible magazine. One, I buy a magazine unless there's something really cool, like maybe I'm in it or I'm a friend or something like that. Then I won't keep them. I just chuck them. Right. There's like, or what am I supposed to do? Collect all 4 of these magazines, or 2, like. You still printed fucking 20,000 of them. That's not limited edition. That's not collect. If you're paying for something you want, like with your game, you got an extra thing, or like you pay for, like the new Skyrim collector's edition that's come out has got 3 bits of DLC with it.
Yes,
that's fine. You're paying extra money for extra content. Great.
Actually, you pay the same price as you would have paid for the game originally. Which is why some people wait deliberately for the Game of the Year editions to come out.
Yeah,
because they pay the same price for a game that's 6 months old and they get all the bits with it.
Yeah, that's great.
Whereas I'd probably buy it for 40 quid because I'm really keen on it the first day, and then I'll pick up the DLC in the sale or something.
Yeah, but it's like the same as like even like a steelbook or an alternative piece of art. It's nice if you don't pay. If you want to pay a couple quid more because you're a big fan of the series or the game, and you get a nice piece of artwork that you're going to enjoy, fine. But it's the things that aren't actually limited and you don't get anything more. I'm a sucker for special editions. Okay. Most of my DVDs and Blu-rays are...
because you're terrible with money.
Most of my DVDs and Blu-rays are like 2 disc special edition, behind the scenes, this and that, you know. I've got the 6-disc Gladiator box set.
Okay.
Like I've watched it because it's got some nice.
That's a film which doesn't need 6 discs.
No, it really doesn't.
Unless it's like split into 6 parts.
Lord of the Rings did 12 across 3 films.
Yeah. No, it's actually what it is it's the main movie and then another disc of making of, and then actually it's 4 discs of just compiled like Roman and gladiatorial documentaries that they pulled from like the History Channel. So it's more of like a collector's box set of things about gladiators rather than. But they put it under the Russell Crowe movie because it's the most famous one out there.
The real gladiator.
Yeah.
The 300 spot.
The deadliest warrior.
But then the other way around, something that's worth a lot more to you. I mean, like, I don't know if we were
Where a
mentioning
Spartan takes on the might of Rommel's tiger tank.
we
A grossly mismatched deadliest warrior. A caveman will fight a howitzer. Up next, a special celebrity edition where Mahatma Gandhi takes on Attila the Hun.
All narrated by me, Emperor Palpatine. Good, let the historical inaccuracies flow through it.
working the laptop is my friend WICKET. What do you have to say? Well, in this match, WICKET!
I would love a Star Wars Deadliest Warrior where we just look at the computer and go, it's Obi-Wan.
No, surely if it's any characters from the movie, it'd be like, who would win in a lightsaber battle between Luke Skywalker and Darth... Oh, we've done that.
Welcome to grossly mismatched Deadliest Star Wars Warrior, where Boba Fett takes on
WICKET! Boba Fett versus the Death Star. If Boba Fett's flying, surely he's going to be really fucking hard to hit.
Where I, Emperor...
practical.
where I, Emperor Palpatine, take on a seemingly never-ending turbo laser shaft.
I'm going to punch this laser. Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah, Gladiator box set.
No, we're talking about special editions. During the week, we went to a book signing sort of meeting with Simon Scarrow, and I was already.
He said he likes for show, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was all ready to.
He might be the only one.
Not.
I was.
We were just kind of hoping he was going to go, like your crossbow.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was all ready like to buy the book at its full, stupendous, heavy paperback hardback price.
That other thing.
Yeah, which they're always expensive. I wait for them all to come out and pay. But I was expecting to pay the full price because he was going to sign it and you get to have a chat.
Oh, he does because I'm from the future.
Yes, indeed.
You can't sign those though; it gets really messy.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, and
That
actually,
Kindle screen just gets harder and harder to read.
actually, as we walked in, it was £7 off the retail price.
That's awesome.
Well, you're not buying from the Waterstones were selling it.
Yeah, Waterstones.
But for the chance, for the chance to buy it and get him to sign it on the same day, which is a little bit more special edition than getting a different piece of artwork.
Yeah.
For £7 less, and the author, you know, we had lovely. Like, it was a lovely
It's an hour and a
evening.
half talking, man.
Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome.
and then a good minute and a half, 2 minutes of actually talking to him as he started, because he wasn't in a hurry to get.
No,
Because I went up to him and I was like, "Oh, it's really nice to meet you. Can I be cheeky? Can you sign this book instead of your new one because it was the first one I read?"
Okay.
He was like, "Oh, that's really nice." I was expecting that to be the extent of my conversation. Then I chucked a quick line about, "Oh, who would play your characters in a movie? Like you said about this one. How about this one?" And I'm like shuffling to one side because there's a big. He must have been there another hour.
Oh, easily.
Easily, right? I'm shuffling to one side to kind of let him, and he's like, "Well, actually," and he kind of taps his pen against his cheek, and I'm like, "Oh, he's actually engaging in conversation instead of just moving through the queue," which was I would have happily paid double the price of the book to meet somebody.
But that's because you're terrible with money.
But at the same time, I got something.
It's enough for it £10. I'll give you 70.
I got something worth more than any
I'll give
special
you
edition.
£8.
Yeah, Empire magazine want to sell me 4 of the same cover.
Yeah.
I know they don't.
They're
have
not
their
even
price.
Simon Scarrow on the cover.
No,
I don't think they're competing with Simon Scarrow.
well they should. Next
Maybe.
week on Deadliest Rock, Simon Scarrow versus a
Street
magazine.
magazine takes on a popular historical fiction author. It's Bella versus Bernard Cornwell.
I want to see Patricia versus Cornwell.
It's a battle of the Cornwells.
Patrick.
With Patricia's deadliest weapon, the inaccurate Jack the Ripper theory.
Next week on Deadliest Warrior, it's the battle of the narrators as I fight the guy from X Factor. Join us next week.
With my
join us
special
then.
weapon, hyperbole.
And my special weapon, radio.
I'm not exactly, I fucking love reading. I just love his name because you can say it like that all the time. You can just consider China. It's the same voice.
He does, like, he has one of those amazing voices.
Yeah, and he...
Like that old guy who used to do the film trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
He's one of them. But at the same time, I was so dejected when we watched a film the other night at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
When we watched, I can't remember which film, was it Hobgoblins?
We did watch Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, which one was the one where we were watching the trailers afterwards?
My dad often does. I think it was Hobgoblins.
Yeah, and I was just really dismayed to hear the guy who was, his voice is associated with some of these massive blockbuster movies, trying to make Hobgoblins sound watchable.
In a world where shit movies happen.
When a world where I need a new conservatory.
Because it's got a price tag, you pay it, you get in.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
That's how you get big stars.
That's more my question. How? How did they afford him?
In a bathroom that needs a new boiler.
Next week on Deadliest Warrior, Hobgoblins become a good film.
There's some people who like getting famous for your voice is such a weird yet cool. Like we noticed again, at this Simon Scarrett thing, he did a reading from his book.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but notice that he was better than any of the people I've ever had on his audiobooks.
Okay.
I was like, read your own books. It was awesome.
Yeah. They do sometimes the audio books.
Sometimes they do it. I know. Yeah, I think J.K. Rowling read one of the Harry Potter books for.
It'd be great if you read Lord of the Rings.
This is.
Got to the end without noticing the difference.
Yeah.
This is similar.
I did.
I can see why they get upset. I haven't read this ever, honest.
This is a hot. I mean, I know you think I plagiarised it, but I genuinely haven't, and I'm really sorry. I probably should have.
They are a bit like Black Riders, aren't they?
So I remember reading, it was either Empire or Total Film, just go back. Before Prisoner of Azkaban came out, and the interview of the director was, well, we tried to make the Dementors look very different from the Nazgul because that's kind of been done so well now already. And I saw the film, and I was like, what did you do?
They don't have horses.
Took their horses away, that's all you did!
Again, I think it's a very... It's that sci-fi fantasy staple. There's only so many things you can imagine that are scary. Like if I ask you to draw an orc, you're going to draw something that looks like every orc you've seen.
I can think of something scarier. Having a bath and Sam Neill's watching you through the window.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Dressed as Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park.
Peering in
Just
through
going...
the window. You're in the bath, you look up and Sam Neill's looking through a bedroom window, just gently applying some jam to some toast.
Is the bath too hot? Is the bath too cold? Or is the bath just right?
Watch out for the taps, they are hot and cold. Don't touch them with your toes. You will burn yourself
Please
or
make
get a chill. And then
Don't forget, the Crazy Train Christmas single is out. It's the Jurassic Park themed Sam Neill watching you in a bath medley.
Please sit out before you pull out the plug, or you'll have to sit in your own film.
The thing though, is I was at the
With
pictures.
the Event Horizon remix.
Stay listening at the end for the bonus track. Bomb.
So, on that note, we're going to call it there. Well, thanks to the cast with me. I'm Ibrahim.
I am signing off.
Brad Armour.
Clever girl.
Blake Armour.
I said a few things.
I've been your host, Rob Wade. Come on, little one, to iTunes and rate, review and subscribe. You can find us at emotionally14.com. You can find us at emotionally14 on Twitter. You can find us at emotionally14. Do it, it'll be fucking epic. You can find emotionally14 on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Rob Wade Vision. Omer's at the Iron Turk Omer. Brad's at Lee Enfield.
And don't forget to join us on Deadliest Warrior. When a Tyrannosaurus Rex takes on a lawyer on a toilet.
We all know how that one is.
And the Spitty Lizard takes on Blake's Twitter account. It doesn't exist.
Are you a creationist? Oh, you mean a Twitter account?
Has anyone noticed I'm just going round?
No.
La, la, la,
You're already round.
Hey!
Oh, you cold as ice.
Bit too fat.
Dr. Matter of Fact makes a late appearance. And with that, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Is that Sam Neill?
Goodbye.
If you put a dingo and a baby on the same train, the dingo will still eat the baby. Hi, it's Mark from Down Under. Just thought I'd give you guys just a quick message to let you know I'm here, I'm safe. Everything's going really great at the moment. Just want to say thank you for letting me on the show. I had a really good time. It's really good to sort of see the place where you guys make the magic happen, and sort of be a part of that. I thought I'd just sort of send a message to let you guys know some of the things that have been going on down here. I don't know if some of this you might find quite amusing, because let's face it, that's what we're all here for. So let's go over some of the highlights. Like the weather here, as you probably know, there's two settings. There's hot, and it's melting my face here. One thing I thought was quite comical is over here it's actually illegal to hang a towel over a balcony, so I've decided to buy a shitload of towels and I'm just going to start hanging it over random balconies just to start crying them, just to see how that goes down on Australian news. And lastly, the funniest thing I've seen here, and I haven't fabricated any of this in any shape or form, this is all true. Walking down in a place called Darling Harbour.
None of this sounds real.
Apparently there's a lot of pansies. Yeah. Oh, darling. And this Chinese guy, just out of nowhere. Now, I know you're thinking I'm going to say like a ninja, but that's racist. Don't be silly.
It's also Japan, but good try.
Just came out of nowhere and he punched this sort of recycle bin. Sort of like the flip-up bins that we have back at home that you'd use for sort of general garden waste. Punched it, ripped the lid off and chucked it into a small crowd of children. To which, I'm not going to lie, I found that fucking hilarious. But the worst thing about all this, as if throwing a bin at children, it was the height of the worst. It gets better. Is he decided to walk off in front of me and Kaz, probably about, I don't know, maybe sort of 10, 15 sort of metres in front of us. Then turns slightly off to the right, down, so he's still out in the open, you can still see him. Decides to squat down, so we're sitting thinking, okay, maybe he's just having a really bad day, he's having a bit of a mental breakdown. Which probably would have made sense actually, because then he pulled down his pants and then decided to take a dump on the floor. I half expect him to kind of pick up that and just start throwing it at the children, because it seems to be a trend. But who knows? There you go. Anyway, right. I know it's a short and sweet message. I hope you guys are I hope you're well. Hope everything's going good. I'm looking forward to hearing some of the future work from you guys while I'm down here. If I spot anything funnier, then I'll let you guys know. So I'll keep sending it until you decide to use it. But anyway, catch you guys later.
Fucking confrontational, wasn't it?